Hello, and welcome back to Random Reviews. So, you guys have probably figured out by now that I love movies, and I love talking about movies. I love making videos about movies sometimes, and not just movies that I watch on VHS from the 90s. Sometimes I even do a little bit of streaming. I watch a movie in bed. Watching a movie on a plane is always a rare treat. And one time, I even watched a movie on my phone. Yeah, sorry about that, David Lynch.
Such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your telephone. Get real.
And I should probably apologize to John Carpenter too, because that movie was They Live, and that definitely deserves better. But my favorite place to watch the movies is at the movies. There's just nothing better to me than catching a film in a dark theater on a huge screen with that loud sound. That's just one of my favorite things, and I love it. It's just convenient too. I have a theater that's only a few minutes away from my house, and it's just fun to swing out and catch a movie on a night when I have nothing else going on. Don't worry, I have other hobbies too, okay? I touch grass, I see other people, I do things, I'm not a psycho. But compared to most people I know, I guess I do see like a crazy amount of movies at the theaters. So basically in these videos, I'm just going to go through and talk about everything I've seen. It's not going to be a full random review on each movie, but I'll give a quick little rundown, share my 2 cents, which is worth a little bit more these days, so you're welcome. This is only going to be things I've seen in theaters, so new movies that were released this year on Netflix or Prime or HBO or whatever, I'm not going to include because I'm just not. But I did see 2 movies on planes, and I'll include those as little fun bonuses, so look out for that. We're just going to go month by month, movie by movie. All right, here we go.
Dylan!
All right, so I kicked off 2025 with A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't that interested in seeing this, but my mom likes Bob Dylan and she insisted that we go, so I did. And I don't know, it was fine. I have nothing against Bob Dylan, he's cool, but I think I'm just so tired of this genre as a whole. The musical biopic is just kind of played out, in my opinion.
Who wrote this? He did.
There's been good ones and bad ones over the years, but when the best one is a parody of the genre, I think it shows that it's time to stop. And yeah, Dewey Cox just kind of killed it for everyone. Like, I love the Beatles, and I don't even know if I'm excited for the upcoming 4 Beatles movies that we're gonna get. But anyway, back to Bob Dylan. This movie was fine, like I said. It just didn't do much to stand out, in my opinion. Timothy Chalamet was good as Bob Dylan, but he didn't really take it to the next level. I don't know. I appreciate that it didn't try to tackle Bob Dylan's entire life. Like, it really is just set during a specific period during his earlier years when he was about to go electric. And I do remember really liking the guy who played Johnny Cash. But besides that, yeah, just kind of more of the same. Well made and all that. Nothing against it, but it just, I don't know. Like I said, it was fine. Next up is Better Man. Better Man? Just Better Man, right? This was a Screen Unseen, which is a thing AMC Theaters does on Mondays where they'll do like a Mystery Monday movie. And yeah, I had no clue really who Robbie Williams was. I didn't know anything about, his boy band, Kickback, Kick It, Take That, whatever. I'm American. I don't know these things. This movie was bonkers. Like, it makes the inexplicable decision to portray Robbie as not an actor playing him, but as a CGI monkey man for some reason. And, that alone is a lot. Like, it'll get attention just for being the Monkey Man movie. It's just, there's no reason for it, and no one in the movie acknowledges it. There's one kind of cheeky line where he says something in a narration.
I've always been a little less evolved.
It's just, he's a monkey man. Another thing is this movie isn't as like standard and sanitized as most of these seem to be. Like, this one gets a little raw. It shows some very dark stuff that happened in his life and doesn't really sugarcoat it, which is, nice to see a more authentic take for once. These are usually pretty lame. Like I said, you got to do something to stand out in this genre, and this one certainly memorable. And yeah, anyway, next.
Yeah, that was brutal.
The Brutalist. This was an epic movie, like in the real sense, not like, oh, Avengers Endgame was epic. Like the Brutalist architecture that the name is a reference to, it is just this huge, massive, sprawling, intricate, oppressive structure. It's the story of the life of Adrian Brody, who plays this architect who comes to America and his pursuits as he tries to put his life back together and continue creating the art that he does through his buildings. I don't know, this was just a great movie, well acted, beautifully shot. Honestly, the length was not a problem at all for me. It does mercifully have an intermission about halfway through, which was nice, but I was completely in this movie the entire time. I just remember enjoying it a lot, but once it was over, it didn't quite, I don't know, it just didn't quite sit as like a complete thing in my head. I don't know how to explain it. The ending was fascinating, and I really do think the final couple scenes is the heart of the entire movie. This one's a complicated, giant thing that you gotta watch. Great movie, big movie, and a movie that I definitely did not like was Wolfman. This was directed by Leigh Whannell. It seems like his thing lately has been to do modern, updated versions of Universal monster movies. A couple years ago, he did Invisible Man. It was just like a good sci-fi thriller. And then now he's back with Wolfman. Ugh. It wasn't like a horribly made movie. It was just miserable, drab, dark, like visibly dark, ugly to look at. I mean, it had some pretty decent thrills and chills, and I don't know, this movie was just kind of a bummer. And it's not even like I don't like a good feel-bad movie. This just really didn't stick with me at all, and what I do remember just is kind of ugly and not fun. Maybe next time he'll come back with an awesome, fun Creature from the Black Lagoon movie. Next, for January, I saw another Screen Unseen Mystery Monday movie, which ended up being Companion, starring Jack Quaid. And yeah, this one was fine, but honestly, with almost a year going by at this point, I don't remember a whole lot of the details. It's kind of like a murder mystery. It had some fun characters. It was kind of just like a cheesy thriller with some bloody action. I feel bad because it's apparently it's ultimately pretty forgettable.
It's not you. It's me. Wow, Josh.
Y'all need a pilot?
One movie I don't think you'll like, and I definitely did not like, I don't think anyone liked this movie, was Flight Risk. This movie was awful. I really think this was one of the worst movies I've seen all year. Like right now it's the worst, and off the top of my head, I'm trying to think what could possibly be worse. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Yeah, this was another one I saw with my mom, believe it or not. She likes the Wahlbergs, specifically Donnie Wahlberg. Anyway, I knew this was set entirely on a plane, which kind of sounded like it could be an interesting concept, but in my head, I was picturing a commercial airliner where there'd be places to have action sequences and set pieces and, you know, all this stuff. But like, no, this is like a tiny little plane. It threw me for a loop, and I thought it did not work. Like the movie did not take any advantage of the fun things you could do in these situations. The twists and turns were like super predictable and unsatisfying. And worst of all, Mark Wahlberg was horrific in this movie. Like his character was so unappealing, so terrible. He's kind of the main antagonist. He's just, he was a horrible guy, just not fun to watch. And I hated this movie. I did not like this at all. I'm sorry. I don't like to be negative. I really don't. But this one was like, bleh, ugh, terrible.
Psycho killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
I've not felt since.
February began on a spooky note with Presence. This is a ghost movie told from the point of view of the ghost. It's written by David Cope, who wrote Jurassic Park, probably most notably, and directed by why can't I say that name? The first of two collaborations that they would do this year. And this was a pretty solid movie. I liked it. It was interesting. I'm not really a big fan of ghost movies in general. I don't know, I'm just not into ghosts, I'm sorry. But I'll take this over like Paranormal Activity, like, ooh, oh no. Like ghost movies are either too boring or too like ridiculous for me to take them seriously. And this one was kind of right in the middle. It had good characters, it was an interesting idea, and yeah, I liked it.
You know what they say, love is blind.
Love Me. This movie was bizarre. It's a weird love story between a buoy and a satellite, which are both computers on a post-apocalyptic Earth that are there to study or observe or whatever, and they meet each other and start a relationship, and I just did not care at all. I'm all for movies being weird, and it's certainly a weird concept, but about halfway through I was like, can this thing just end so I can leave, please? Sorry, movie. I did not love you. Becoming Led Zeppelin, an IMAX experience. I saw this one with my mom too. We're both big fans of Led Zeppelin. They're one of my favorite classic rock bands. And yeah, it was a fine documentary. Nothing super groundbreaking. I don't really think I learned anything new. But it was cool to see vintage Led Zeppelin performances up on the big screen. It didn't blow me away, but I had a good time watching it. I don't know if it was necessarily something you need to see on IMAX. I mean, the sound was cool, but besides that, not mad about it.
My mistake. I thought I was hanging out with a couple of serious superheroes.
I'm not.
Captain America, Brave New World. Oh my goodness. So I've been kind of checked out from the MCU for a while. I don't know why this was the one I decided to come back for. Maybe it's just because it was Captain America. This movie was pretty lame. Like, yeah, it's trying to be like a political spy thriller with intrigue and double crosses, and the president has a dark secret and all this stuff, but I don't know, it just does not come together in a way that was like that entertaining.
Nothing about this feels right.
After a while, you just can't still be interested in these characters. I'm sorry. I just don't care anymore. The one thing I did like was Harrison Ford. It's always fun seeing him, and he plays an insanely angry old man, which is appropriate. No, I'm just kidding. I love him. He's honestly like one of my favorite dudes. He's so funny. But yeah, even he couldn't save this movie. It was just a boring mess, and yeah, you know, of course it just ends in a big CGI slugfest that makes me want to die. I don't want to watch any more Marvel movies, please. Next up was another Mystery Monday movie, which ended up being My Dead Friend Zoe, or Zoe. This was kind of like a dramedy about these two friends who were serving together in Afghanistan. I liked what it was going for. It's a very personal story, you could tell. It has a great message about PTSD and how we need to take care of the veterans. We need to take care of our friends in general. Just love each other. This is the opposite of a lot of movies where I'm like, oh, it was like an awesome movie that didn't really have much of a message, but it was just a big, fun, dumb movie. It has a great message, but I just didn't really vibe with it. So I respect it, but I can't really say I loved it.
Oh, shut up.
Seems you shall never become anything more than a mere monkey.
And the last movie I saw in February is The Monkey. I kind of love this movie. I saw this with my friend Tyler, and it's just a crazy, wacky movie. Directed by one of my new favorite horror directors, Oz Perkins. He's just coming out with like hit after hit, in my opinion. But anyway, The Monkey, I guess it's adapted from a Stephen King short story, but who knows how accurate it is to that. It's this crazy movie about this little monkey that grants wishes, and this guy and his brother, and it's just really out of hand. Like, this movie is nuts. It's over the top. It's ridiculous. The characters are insane. My goodness, it was a good time at the movies. And yeah, so that was February. Marching on to March. All right, the first movie I saw in March was Novocaine. This was another Mystery Movie Monday. I don't know, this movie was fine. It's the kind of movie I'm just so sick of, where it's like, it's a dude who can like fight everyone, and he's so good at fighting, and dude has to fight his girlfriend and go on a revenge mission and kill all a revenge mission and go on a revenge mission. Why can't I say revenge mission? Revenge mission. There we go. And save his girlfriend and blah, 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 and fight everyone. And it's just, okay.
Oh!
So this is like doing the thing where they do an extreme subversion of it, where it's like he's not good at fighting, but he has this one absurd gimmick where he can't feel pain at all, thus his nickname being Novocaine. Novocaine's played by Jack Quaid. This movie definitely has some weird stuff in it as he goes through and fights all these dudes and saves his girlfriend. But yeah, ultimately it was just a big bloody fight 'em up. It was fine. Didn't really care. Next.
I know this sounds insane. What? But we don't have enough time for you to be shocked right now.
Mickey 17 is the newest rip from Bong Joon-ho. I believe this is the first movie he's made since Parasite. Yeah, this movie was pretty good. I liked it a lot. I didn't love it. I love some of the weird details of the world, the look and feel of it, the design of everything was really cool, fun characters. Robert Pattinson was great as all the Mickeys, but Mark Ruffalo was just too obnoxious for me. Like, I could not stand him in this movie. Yeah, I mean, he was definitely a parody of a big, stupid, moronic, narcissistic leader. I just didn't enjoy his performance and his takedown of it at all. But yeah, overall, kind of a fun, wacky sci-fi movie. I love the weird stuff in it. Some parts just didn't hit for me.
You have to do something big and important, or nobody will remember you when you're dead.
Next up was another Mystery Monday movie, and this one was a doozy. Magazine Dreams. It stars Jonathan Majors, who, did some bad stuff. I'm not going to make light of that. But regardless of all that, I have to say, I kind of love this movie. Like, it was nuts. And I love his performance. Like, I'm sorry. I know he's probably not a good guy in real life, but he's a great actor. In this movie, at least, he's amazing. This was like one of the most unhinged, captivating performances I've seen in a long time. Very intense. I genuinely just did not know what this guy was going to do. He's playing a character who aspires to be a bodybuilder, and he's I don't even know how to describe him. Yeah, this movie was definitely not for everyone. It's very abrasive. It's very crazy, but I was completely engaged from start to finish. So yeah, I guess check it out if you dare. The next movie I saw was The Last Supper. So first of all, I saw this movie the night before I had to leave for vacation the next morning, and being out late kind of caused me to sleep through my alarm, which almost caused me to miss my flight. So I kind of blame it on this. My problem with these biblical historical movies is the same as the one that I have with musical biopics, where I feel like a lot of times the ones that aren't well made don't find ways to construct entertaining scenes. They're more so just checking off a bunch of items that they have to get to. This character has to say this here, they have to do this thing here, and it doesn't feel like they're telling the story in a creative way, which is the whole point of a movie. I wish this was more biblically accurate. That's another big problem I have with it. The characters just don't seem like they're portrayed right. Especially the guy who played Jesus. Like, he comes off as kind of annoyed and angry, and I don't know, like, shouldn't Jesus be full of love and compassion and joy? And it's just
So theologically accurate. It's so right.
it didn't feel right. Is this movie for Christians? Because if so, it's like, yeah, we all know this story and this isn't doing it particularly well. And if it's for non-Christians, then, like I said, it's not super great and it's inaccurate. So I don't think it's a good representation of the story and of the Lord anyway. So I don't know. It could have been better. I did have a great vacation in Jamaica, though. And then the last movie I saw in March was The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. And yeah, this was certainly a Looney Tunes movie. I don't even really have much to say about this. Like, it was fun to see a standard 2D animated movie in theaters. We don't get that too often nowadays, and I'm not even like in love with the Looney Tunes, but I'll take it. Anyway, this movie was fine. If you like the Looney Tunes, it's just a bunch of Looney Tunes action and schlock and bits and everything. And it was, I remember it being funny and pretty entertaining, but ultimately I don't remember a whole lot about it. So sorry to say.
That's all, folks.
Started off the month with Hell of a Summer. More like Hell of a Bummer. Not great. Didn't love it. Super forgettable. I don't really remember anything about it except that I was incredibly annoyed the whole time watching it. Kind of just couldn't wait for it to end. This movie stars Flynn Wolfhard, and I think he wrote it or directed it or something too. I honestly don't remember. Yeah, it's like a horror comedy slasher ripoff, just whatever movie.
It's so much worse than I thought it was gonna be. Yeah.
Next up is Warfare. Oh my goodness, this movie was like the loudest movie I've ever seen in my life. When there's not explosions and automatic gunfire going off, it's just people screaming and yelling and wallowing in blood on the floor. Like, oh my gosh, this movie is chaotic, it's intense, and I guess that's kind of the point because it's about, well, warfare. I saw this with my friend Tyler, and it was more of an experience than a fun movie watch, I'd say. It's confusing, it's crazy. This movie is based on a true story. It was a little more ambiguous. It does show the effects it has on the other side as well, especially the innocent civilians whose house is just completely destroyed throughout the entire movie. There's a part where they're like in these people's house that they took over, and they're like, get some tanks up in here, aim them at the top level and blow it up. And then it cuts to these people, and I'm thinking this one dude is probably like, yo, that's the level I live on. Like, come on. But all jokes aside, yeah, this movie is intense. It was violent, horrible, in the ways that war is. I don't know. Interesting movie, crazy movie, wild movie.
Is it a, do you have any Draculas on the show?
No Dracula.
No Draculas. Sometimes the most handsome ones end up being Draculas. You got it.
And then I saw Sinners, the movie everyone was talking about, the normie masterpiece. Anyway, yeah, this movie's pretty awesome. There was a lot of great performances in it. It was shot incredibly well. It had interesting characters. You really get to know for like half the movie before it really kicks off. The thing it's most compared to is From Dusk Till Dawn, of course, because it starts off as more of a character crime drama and then turns into a vampire movie halfway through. You really get to know this group of characters that are just heading into this location that they're going to be stuck in before like all hell breaks loose, and then they just have to fight their way out of it. It was like a cool, fun vampire movie. And I think it's great that it did well. I mean, it's not based on anything. It's not like a Marvel movie or a Star Wars movie or something, but still managed to get a lot of buzz. I think it made a good chunk at the box office and got great reviews. So, yeah.
Women love Draculas like children love stray dogs.
Hello there.
I should have known the Jedi were plotting to take over. Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil.
From a
From my
Jedi.
point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Do it. But we do not grant you the rank of master.
Another happy landing.
And then I saw a Star Wars movie. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. This was the re-release for the 20th anniversary. I had a great time watching the Phantom Menace re-release a couple years back, as I mentioned in that review. I don't love the Star Wars prequels as like actual Star Wars movies, but I don't know. I've come around. I don't care anymore, really. It doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, this one was just a lot of fun. This movie is like a walking, talking, living meme at this point, and it made me laugh the entire time. Maybe it's just seeing it with the crowd. There's people clapping, and it's considered the best of the prequels by a lot of people. I don't agree with that. I have a lot of problems with it, but it's definitely one of the funniest ones. Oh my gosh, like I can't believe how many funny quotes there were from this movie. I don't know, this movie does just annoy me really badly at some parts. The end is just this rush of like, we got to get everything to line up perfectly for A New Hope. Like, do I wish they made a great, amazing, epic conclusion to a great trilogy that showed Anakin's tragic fall from a heroic Jedi to the Darth Vader? You know, if we couldn't get that, I'll take this instead. At least it was a fun ride, and I honestly had a good time. I don't hate these at all. They are what they are. And then I saw The Shrouds. The Shrouds. This is the newest from David Cronenberg. Amazing, legendary filmmaker, known for his body horror type movies, grotesque thrillers, just a really interesting, amazing filmmaker. Like, I love the look and feel of his movies. I saw this with Tyler, who's also a big fan. Yeah, it was fun. I wouldn't say this is one of his great movies, but I liked it a lot more than some of his other recent ones. It's a weird premise, of course. It's a David Cronenberg movie. I don't even know how to explain what the premise is, but it's weird, trust me. The one thing that stands out to me is the main character. That actor was so funny. He had this accent and he just was yelling the whole movie and swearing, and it was just so funny. Every time he was like, what is going on? Like, he was just like, he was so like, I don't know. I was just dying laughing. Not a typical movie, much better than Captain America Brave New World. It's definitely the kind of movie that only David Cronenberg could make. All right, May. I started off the month with another Movie Mystery Monday, and this time it was Fight or Flight. So remember when I was talking about flight risk, and I was like, oh, I was expecting it to be like a commercial airliner, and I was imagining all these like fun set pieces they could do. Well, this movie did it. Like, this was the movie I was kind of imagining. I wouldn't say this was a great movie overall, but wow, it was so much better than that. Unfortunately, this is another one of those he's a dude who can fight every other dude kind of movies. Like, this agent played by Josh Hartnett is on a plane and he's fighting everyone, and I don't remember much of the details. It was just a lot of punching and fighting and shooting and airplane shenanigans. And yeah, when I was writing out the list of all the movies I've seen, I really was like, what is Fight or Flight? I had to look it up. I didn't remember. I saw another Marvel movie. Thunderbolts, asterisk, the new Avengers. This one got a lot of buzz. People were like, oh my gosh, it's a good one for once. This one's really good. It's great. And I don't know, this was just more of the same. It was pretty mediocre in my opinion. In the context of other Marvel movies, I don't mind these guys, but I don't want to see the Secret Agent Man team up with the Red Guardian, the Ghost from the Ghost from Poltergeist. What am I talking about? This movie's like melting my brain. Anyway, yeah, it's just more crap. It's more, oh, we gotta fight and punch and use our powers, and it's a bunch of trash. I'm kind of done with it. I'm sorry. Like, it was so fun for a while, but Marvel's just really played out. I hate these movies. I hate them because I know I'm gonna get sucked in when the Avengers assemble again and they gotta fight Robert Downey Jr. or whatever. And
No.
Remind me to thank John for a lovely weekend.
Oh, this one's so weird. Okay, the movie is Hurry Up Tomorrow, and I'm going to preface this by saying I know nothing about The Weeknd, the musician, and I had no clue before I saw this that this had anything to do with him. Like, I didn't know that there was an album out of the same name. Obviously, if I knew anything about his music, I would know that, but I didn't. And I just kind of went into this movie because I saw the name, it sounded interesting, I had nothing to do that night, and I wanted to see a weird movie. And I certainly saw a weird movie, but it kind of sucked. Like, I don't know. The Weeknd, honestly, he was my favorite part. Like, he seemed kind of real. It was just a bunch of interesting imagery, dreamlike scenes. What is real? And yeah, it was so bad. I don't even think I saw the end to this. I had to pee so bad that I like walked out. I don't know. Sorry, Weeknd, I didn't like your movie.
Nothing's impossible.
Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I saw this one with my mom, who's never seen a Mission Impossible movie before, so this was like the worst one to jump in on. And her review was, it was very entertaining, but I had no clue what was going on the entire time. I want to say this is like one of my least favorite. I don't know, it's missing the fun. Like, I love when these movies are fun. This one was just so dire, and I get it. It's a high-stakes adventure, but it just didn't have any of that camaraderie between the boys. It was so gravely serious. Of course, it's a well-made spectacle. The action set pieces were good. It had a lot going on. It's a big movie. But for it being pitched as The Final Reckoning, with the implication of this being the last Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movie, it just didn't feel like an epic conclusion to anything besides just this two-part story. And especially now that they've added a stunt category to the Oscars, how could Tom Cruise not come back? But yeah, overall, pretty crazy movie. Not the best one in my opinion, but pretty solid.
I'm so happy I have you as my best friend.
All right, so moving on to the summer months. In June, the first movie I saw was Friendship, and I didn't love it. I wanted to really like it. I mean, I love Tim Robinson. I think he's hilarious. His weird, awkward, abrasive humor just really gets me.
You should be dead, you psycho! Who are you?
But this one just didn't quite fully work. Fittingly, I saw it with a friend, my boy Tyler, and it was funny at some parts. I really liked how there was this one really weird subplot that just went on, and it was just really bizarre, where his wife goes missing. Besides that, and a few other parts, as a whole, this one just really didn't land for me, which is disappointing because I wanted to laugh.
Get to know me!
And then I saw another Screen Unseen, and this one was The Life of Chuck. This was another one I didn't really love that much. It's based on a Stephen King story. Seems like there's a lot of those this year, actually. But it just was fine. It was this kind of abstract, whimsical story about this guy named Chuck. The first part of this movie was actually really weird, and I had no clue what was going on. I had no clue what kind of movie it was going to end up being, so it was kind of interesting, but besides one memorable dance scene, the rest of this also just didn't do much for me, unfortunately. Usually Mike Flanagan directing a Stephen King story is a hit, but this one just didn't really stand out much in my opinion.
I am wonderful.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I Don't Understand You
I don't understand you.
is a dark comedy about these two guys who are on a vacation in Italy, and things just go so wrong so fast for them. All they want is a romantic night out, and through a series of misunderstandings and unfortunate events, end up going on an accidental bloody killing spree.
I don't understand you.
And it just gets way out of hand. It's kind of ridiculous. It's silly. It's over the top. I didn't mind it when watching it. I remember kind of laughing a little bit. It was an adequate, bloody, darkly comedic thriller, and yeah, whatever.
Oh, I don't want to do this anymore.
No, this can't be like a thing we start doing in LA.
Yeah.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Next up, it was the latest movie hot off the presses from Wes Anderson, The Phoenician Scheme. For his last few movies, people have been saying that he's kind of becoming a parody of himself, that the movies are all style, no substance, and that he's kind of gotten lost in the sauce a little bit. I really didn't think so with The French Dispatch. That was one of my favorite movies of his, actually. And this one is one of my least favorite of his movies in a while. It was fun to watch, at least. He does craft a great movie. They're always visually interesting. His characters are never boring. They're always quirky, especially with some of the cameos. Sometimes they kind of verge a little bit on annoying for me. I just really didn't like that scene where they played basketball like in a subway tunnel. What was that? Sometimes it was just getting too silly for me. I did love the lead performances though. It was just kind of more of the same. I don't think this is the one to start on or the one that'll win you back.
I don't know. We're living in a material world and I am a material girl.
Materialists? I didn't like this movie either. I went in wanting to enjoy this. I love a good dramedy. I love a good romance. I love a good spin on the romantic comedy genre. And I thought that's what this was going to be. But instead, it was just kind of an annoying movie about annoying characters. Seriously, everyone in this movie is so shallow, so materialist. Wait, that's the topic. But yeah, seriously, like the most unlikable protagonists, the most unlikable worldview that the movie approaches relationships from. I mean, the main actors were fine. They all did a good job, but those characters. And to show how surface level this movie is, a major plot point revolves around this ridiculous surgery that people get to lengthen their legs so they could be taller. Hold up, is that a real thing? And if so, why hasn't Tom Cruise gotten it yet? This movie was a whole lot of nothing. It's just a love triangle. She's got to choose between the handsome guy who's poor and the rich guy who's also handsome. And yeah, who cares? I didn't care at all. And last up for June, it was 28 Years Later. This is the long-awaited sequel to the 28 Whatever franchise. And yeah, they got the Dream Team back together. Danny Boyle, Alex Garland. And yeah, it's pretty good. This one was pretty good. It was a very intense, very visceral, very beautiful movie in a lot of ways. The visuals were very striking. The action was chaotic, but it wasn't all flash. The characters were very interesting. It was the story of this young boy and his mom who have to venture out into the world to get some medical help. And of course, they have to contend with the rage zombie people. But things have changed a lot since the previous movies, and it was kind of cool to see some new world building. It had one of the most weird, dreamlike, incredibly sad endings I've ever seen, and yet it kind of felt peaceful at the same time. So truly a unique movie. If you like the first two, I think you'll like this one. And yeah, that was it for the month of June. We're moving on to the dog days of summer. Here we go.